It was easier to believe that there was someone, something out there to get you, and that's why my life was as bad as it was. Hi, I'm Ahora Robertson. I'm 30 and I'm a single mom. We're here to talk about the fact that I actually believed in conspiracy theories once upon a time ago.
I'm Makenna Meade, a student reporter based here in Mississippi. I wanted to understand more about Karen's story. Can you tell me a couple of the conspiracy theories that you believed in?
I was definitely an anti-vaxxer at one point or another. There was one that I don't even know how to describe. Apparently our birth certificates look like some type of like shipping things where we're selling stuff to China. Basically, China owns us or something crazy. And there's a movie called Zeitgeist, or a documentary. They talk about how Jesus' birth wasn't the first virgin birth. They're trying to show you that like a lot of what you've been taught isn't factual. And then at some point they go into 9/11 being an inside job. I didn't want to believe that our government would do that, but I kind of just straddled the fence on that one.
What resonated with you about the conspiracy theories?
I was in an abusive relationship that I didn't realize at the time was abusive. I got out and I got in one that was worse. I was trying to make the world make sense, and it was easier to believe that it was a bad place and something was out to get you. And that's why my life was where it was at and as bad as it was than it was to realize I had made bad choices.
Can you tell me why you kind of went off and researched all of the things that you believed in?
There was a very specific night, actually, that caused this. This guy and I were talking, and he knew about all these different conspiracy theories that I did. Then towards the end of the conversation, he was like, get this, flat earth. And I was like, I thought he was joking. And he's like, dude, there's evidence that the earth is flat. And he tells me to look in the sky. A little while later, I saw him use a very, very hard drug. It made me realize if I'm thinking like someone like that I should reconsider my belief system. So the very next day when I got on YouTube, I actually searched how to disprove a conspiracy theory. A month, maybe even less, went by before my brain just kind of clicked, and I was just like, all this is a bunch of hogwash. And I kind of started going in the other direction.
During the course of you working through misinformation and figuring out, what was the truth, what was, kind of mixed up, how did Aslan fall into this?
I'm gonna say roughly a year before she came along was when I became the version of myself I am now.
Yeah.
And that's gonna be where you put your carrots, okay?
Yeah, what's that?
When I was pregnant, my best friend made me onesies for Aslan that said like science is not an alternative fact, and there's a bunch of different books for kids, and there's like a women in science book. She and I were actually working really hard to make sure like the baby had plenty of stuff, and I even had a parent reach out to me who was like, I think it's so cool that you're like over here planning on making sure your child's educated.
I know that you're writing a book that's going to help kids with critical thinking skills. Tell me about it.
It's a story about a kid trying to build a block tower, literally based on us hanging out in the living room one day and my daughter trying to build a block tower, and she's like throwing this tantrum because everything's falling to the floor. And I was like, that's gravity. You're learning a lesson in physics. And like most people don't talk to 2-year-olds that way. We treat children like they are not smart, and they are. They're little scientists, and they're ready to absorb all this information. And if you put the right information into them, amazing things are going to happen.
If you could go back in time and you could talk to a younger version of yourself that believed all those years ago, what would you say to her?
I don't think I could necessarily say anything that would change her mind. You can't make people, believe differently. I definitely would tell her that things are going to get better. because I think that was part of her problem. I might grab her phone and type in how to disprove a conspiracy theory and click on a video and hand it to her before I disappeared. If you're someone who does believe in conspiracy theories, maybe just for a day, do what I said that I did and just kind of look into the possibility that maybe not all, but some of what you think it could possibly be wrong. It's hard to change minds, but that would ultimately be really cool. If just a couple of people could decide to get out of whatever online forum it is that they're on, go look up something and challenge their own beliefs. That's going to be the moral of my story, because when I challenged my beliefs, it changed my world and it made my life better.